Everyone, welcome to the Outlet Podcast channel. My name is Gazy, host of the Outlet Podcast, and you can catch all of my content, well, here on YouTube, my vlogs, and my podcast on iTunes, Soundcloud, Stitcher Radio, Blubrry, and now on Google Play Music. So, yeah, like if you like listening to podcasts, you got an Android, or you secretly have Google somehow on your iPhone. I don't know how, but if you do, check me out. Just search Outlet Podcast, and that's where I'll be. So today, I want to actually touch on a topic that I didn't get to finish on my last video, and that is group communication. Like being in a party, how do you communicate? How do you convey yourself with all of these various like actions and mannerisms and gesticulations? How do you react? How do you act? Period. Let me let you know how. Okay, so number one, the last video I talked about how using complimentary phrases are amazing. In Japan, they got honorifics, and those are not just your Mr. and Mrs. Those actually give honor, and you know, you're actually sending like good vibes to that other person when you're saying their sama or san or senpai and all that stuff. It's actually very flattering, and it's honoring. When you use complimentary phrases like after you, or it's my pleasure, by all means, when you speak this way, you're actually lowering yourself and elevating the other person in the conversation, or people in the conversation. When you do that, people will like to talk a lot more because they're feeling like they're honored. So it's really great for you to use complimentary phrases. Common ground. Finding common ground is the key. The key to use it to a good conversation with whether it's one-on-one or 1-on-20. It's finding common ground is amazing, and it doesn't have to necessarily be common ground. Like you both sympathize with it, you both agree. It can be disagreeing things, and if you're with a like-minded individual as yourself, which is something you're gonna have to discern. If you're with a like-minded individual, you can even talk about things you disagree upon and still maintain a good conversation. So finding common ground, great thing to do. Body language. Your body language is another language when you're talking, but if you're also using gesticulations or with your face, if you're manipulating your face in a certain way, then people want to react in that certain way. If you're always talking with a smile, then people might take on even the most negative thing you say. They'll take it on with a positive way. And bad people use that, trust me. Like people will say things with a smile, or say things with pseudo confidence or subtle confidence, and they'll have you believe that they believe that. It's a very scary thing. But body language, not showing that you're tense and worried, and no, being relaxed and being able to convey yourself in a proper way. You're a grown adult. Act like an adult. So the last one I didn't get to touch upon is actually one of my favorites, and it's a very subtle thing when it comes to conversing in a group setting. It's deflecting to the weaker. Okay, you're in a conversation. You guys are talking about basketball. You guys and girls are talking about basketball. Well, what do you do when not everybody knows about basketball? Well, it's simple. You see someone who is like, for example, they are not talking that much. They don't know that much about basketball. Well, you include them. You deflect to the weaker, and you take the topic of conversation, and you can generalize the topic. Okay, let's actually look at this in practice. Okay, you're talking about basketball. You're talking about LeBron James. There's a number of things you can do. You can talk about his history. You can talk about his athleticism. You can talk about his style. You can talk about him losing in NBA Finals. You can talk about him winning in NBA Finals. You can talk about his statistics. All of these topics are about LeBron James. Are they not? They are. Now, not everybody's going to know sports. So the weaker person might not know sports, but they might know philanthropy. They might know about charity. And they might know that LeBron James is very charitable. Or, so what you do is you take that. This is something you kind of got to discern. But if that person is letting on, if the topic of conversation about LeBron James, and you know that person knows about philanthropy, then you can say, yeah, did you know that LeBron James is a very charitable person? And that person can not take the conversation into philanthropy and giving, but that person can contribute to the conversation about philanthropy a little bit. So now you invited that person in the circle of conversation. It's, when done properly, you can really make people feel good. You can include people, which is a very positive thing. And that's what everybody wants in a party. That's what everybody wants in a circle of conversation. It's very awkward when you're with 5 guys and you're talking about something and there's one guy that doesn't say anything. If you know this and you know that person's uncomfortable, well, why don't you make it more comfortable for that person to be able to contribute and share and be a part of a living thing, which is social or society, like the sociality. If that's even a word, but the sociality of the issue. Include them. So, like, you got LeBron James. You know, okay, if somebody isn't into basketball, but they're a sneakerhead, you can say, yo, are LeBron James shoes being collected? How much are they worth? Do they appreciate in value like Jordans or blah, 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 blah? Include that person. You see? You deflect to the weaker. And when you do that, when you are the individual who is able to open up some other individual in a conversation, everyone else takes notice. So, in the same way that people take notice of you honoring them, in the same way that people will take notice about you finding common ground. To find common ground is very difficult, but if you're able to tap that vein, if you're able to find common ground where there is no common ground, if you're the guy who's able to, whose body language everybody is imitating, if you're the person who's like, everybody notices that you were the one who included that awkward guy or that awkward girl, if you are that one, everybody's going to notice. They're going to think you are the bee's knees, my friend. They're going to think that you are actually somebody who they should listen to more. And what do you know? You might get a girlfriend out of it. Like, people like that kind of person. People like this individual who is inclusive, who shares, who's positive, who doesn't think of themselves more than any other. People like that. So I guess that's what, like, you just got to figure out. Do you have the charisma, the je ne sais quoi, to be able to pull this off? I think most people can. It just takes a certain amount of courage and discernment. Your ability to analyze in various ways, in various forms, discerning people's tastes, people's likes, people's dislikes, to be able to discern what they find in common and body language and all that kind of stuff. Oh, snap. If you can figure that out, my friend, you will be the belle of the ball. So, man, I notice these things. Okay, I'm not trying to, okay. I noticed these things a little bit. I was able to practice a little bit about little of this stuff in that setting. And people were in, like, it was not about me. The radio event was about the radio hosts and giving off the free stuff that they were giving. And that's what the event's about. And there was alcohol, so everyone loves alcohol except me because I don't drink. Not that, well, alcohol's okay, it can be beneficial in some circumstances, whatever. But like, I didn't make the event about me. However, I was able to contribute to the atmosphere. I was able to contribute to people smiling, to people having a good day, to people socializing, to people being happy. So that's what, at the end of the day, that's what matters most. And if you become that person who wants other people to be happy in a conversation, and you're able to do that in a conversation, my friend, that's amazing. And that's what I think we should all strive for. So that is what I got for today's and this will conclude like the 2-part video of group conversations. What questions do you have? Comment below, and I will be more than happy to respond and share. So my name's Gazy. I'm the host of the Outlet Podcast. Connect and recharge.